Manatees, alligators, crocodiles, some of the wildest ranger programs in the country, and some crazy food choices. Here are 5 tips that you need to know before visiting Everglades National Park. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes, and I love Everglades National Park. You will find me there quite often, actually. It's one of my favorite winter destinations. So today I'm really excited to share with you 5 of my tips for making your trip extra special, for making it just a little bit better than it could have been. So let's jump right in. Tip number 1 is to plan your trip during the park's dry season. This is very important. It just makes it more fun. Dry season in Everglades National Park is typically from about November through April. And I love coming here in the winter. It's a fabulous winter destination, and it's the park's peak season. And so everything is open, ranger programs are running, you get better weather, better temperatures, fewer bugs, less hurricanes. You're not there in hurricane season, and you are more likely to see more wildlife. So if you learn only one thing from this video, that would be it. Make sure you're planning your trip to Everglades during the right time of year to make it more enjoyable. Tip number 2, you gotta plan. You've got to. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I love trip planning. But here's the thing. Everglades National Park is the 3rd largest national park in the contiguous United States. Most people don't realize that, but it's 1.5 million acres. And another thing to keep in mind that a lot of people don't think about is that this national park actually has 3 pretty distinct areas, and they are not interconnected. You can't drive between the 3 by going through the park to cut down on travel time. You've got to drive out and around and then back in. And so that can be a lot of extra driving. That can be, meaning that you have to cut out some things if you didn't plan correctly. So keep those logistics in mind as you're deciding what to do in the park and how to split up your time. Check out my video here on YouTube about the 10 things you won't want to miss in Everglades, because I do break it down by section so you can see what there is to do in each place. But looking at the map of Everglades, let me just kind of show you what you're in for. So Everglades National Park, it's the whole bottom part of Florida. And so you can see it is just huge. It encompasses a huge area. It goes even further down here. And you're right outside of Miami, so you are in a pretty populated area as well. But this is an amazing wilderness because it is a slow-moving river, and it's hard to put roads through here, so they don't. You can't drive through Everglades National Park to get to the various sections. So what you're going to want to look for while you're planning is, here's one area, this area down here by Homestead, and it's this big long road that goes deeper into Everglades and takes you down to the ocean. And along this road, there's lots of stuff to do. So this is a really good area to plan at least one full day, but maybe even a little bit more, depending on what you're hoping to do down here. Now, after you're done here, you're going to have to drive back out and around to get over here to Shark Valley, which is alligator central. There are so many alligators here in Shark Valley, so it is definitely worth coming out to. But again, it's pretty far from all the way down here. Like if you're camping or staying in the lodge at Flamingo, to drive all the way up here to Shark Valley will take hours. And then you've got the Gulf Coast area all the way out here. And this is the west side of Florida. So you can start kind of more here in the east and go all the way across the state of Florida to the west and still be in Everglades. This Gulf Coast area has a visitor center. It has boat tours, kayaking and canoeing tours, stuff like that. And this is a quieter area of the park, but still very cool. So if you're wanting to see all 3, again, keeping in mind those driving distances to get you all the way through all the sections in Everglades, make sure you pay attention to that as you're making your hotel arrangements. Decide which sections are the most important to you and where to stay to best see those sections. I can help you with that too because I love planning trips to the national parks. It is my passion. I'm so excited to help you have amazing experiences in these parks. And so I am happy to help you with that on dirtinmyshoes.com. If you click over to Dirt in My Shoes, I have a full section all about everything you need to know to plan your trip to Everglades National Park. Tons of different articles to walk you through. But if you go to the how many days should I spend and go all the way down to the bottom, I actually have a really great sample itinerary there for you that tells you where I would stay for seeing all these various sections of the park. All right, tip number 3 is to be sure to join a ranger program while you're here. I was a park ranger. I love ranger programs, but you will typically find me wanting to be out exploring rather than sitting and learning. That's my personality. And so ranger programs, sometimes they're on my radar, and a lot of times, though, I'd just rather be out hiking. What's cool about Everglades National Park, though, is that their ranger programs are extra adventurous. They're a little wild, and I love that. I love that the rangers here are like, full moon kayak tour? Sure. Full moon bike tour? Sure. Can we take people through the river of grass, through this slow moving river with the waders and see if we can see some alligators or some pythons? Can we do some boat tours out to the island so that we can see dolphins? It's just a really cool, exciting, fun lineup of ranger programs here in Everglades. For me, Everglades National Park is a completely different landscape than what I'm used to at home here in Utah. And I feel better getting out and doing some of these more adventurous things, having a park ranger there with me. And I just highly recommend you take a look at the lineup of ranger programs that are going to be offered while you're there. A lot of these more adventurous ones do require advance reservations, though they usually don't cost money. You just have to reserve your spot so that they know how much gear to bring. Then you can go out with a professional who can tell you all about all the cool things you're seeing and keep you safe while you get out of your comfort zone. So speaking of adventure, tip number 4 is to plan to be adventurous with your food. Yes, food. This is one of my favorite aspects of visiting Everglades National Park and the Miami area is that there's just so much good food that represents a whole bunch of different cultures and people, and it gives you an insider taste of who lives here and why this place is so important to them. Okay, so just outside of Everglades, you'll find some really cool options. We really like the Gator Grill down in the Homestead area. That's where you can try alligator. You can eat frog legs. So a little bit more of that Florida cuisine there. And that's a really fun experience. We also love in the Gulf Coast area to go over to Triad Seafood because Everglades City, right outside of the national park there, is actually the stone crab capital of the world. Lots of delicious seafood to be had over in that area of the park. You've also got Robert is Here, which is a really unique little fruit stand. I shouldn't say little, it's not very little. There's a lot of options there. That's where you can also get like boiled peanuts, homemade salsas, stuff like that. And then out in the greater Miami area, you'll find a lot of Cuban food, Puerto Rican food. It's all so delicious. It's one of our favorite parts of being in this area and exploring the Everglades. That's the meal that comes at the end of a long and exciting day in the park. So plan to be adventurous with your food and try something new. And tip number 5 is don't call Everglades a swamp. It's not a swamp. It's actually a giant, slow-moving river. And why does that matter for you? It matters because if you know that, you will see this park differently while you're here. This is the largest subtropical wilderness in the United States. It's a massive wetland that supports so many different types of plants and animals, including a lot that are endangered or threatened. There are hundreds of different types of unique and rare plant and animal species that rely on this big, slow-moving river to give them life. And you're not going to see this anywhere else. It really is a remarkable and very humbling experience to be here. If you keep your eyes peeled, you can find a lot of different birds. You can find a lot of different kinds of plants. A lot of the sawgrasses and things like that are endangered or threatened. You can see manatees in the flamingo marina. What I didn't realize is that American alligators and crocodiles are both threatened species, and you can find both of them protected here in Everglades National Park. It's crazy. And knowing this as you are here, you're not just looking at a swampland. You're not just looking at something that is gross and muddy and, not beautiful. When you look closer and you notice those details and you see those creatures that thrive here because of this giant, slow moving river, you will have a different experience in this park. It will feel different to you. You will appreciate it more. It will touch your soul even deeper. So go into this experience knowing that you're not in a swamp. You are looking at the river of grass. You are looking at a huge, slow moving river that gives life and protects many species that don't have another place to go or don't thrive anywhere else. Cool, right? So many amazing things to do in Everglades National Park, so many things to see and experience, and to just let it become a part of you. For more information about visiting Everglades National Park, and if you want my help planning your trip, go to dirtinmyshoes.com. That is where you will find so many different articles that you can look at as you plan your trip to Everglades and as you make it a reality. If you like this video, please subscribe because I've got more Everglades content coming for you, in addition to a lot of other national parks that deserve to be visited. I can't wait for you to go to Florida. I can't wait for you to experience this amazing national park, and I hope I see you out on the trail.